Hey guys, welcome to the GMV podcast. Sorry haven't been posting lately. My son got sick this past weekend, and I'm also been very busy with work. And right now at 3 in the morning is the only time I got time to do this episode. Um, this episode is kind of spicy because, like I said, my son got sick this weekend, and I felt that a lot of people who I thought I could depend on weren't there. And I'm not saying that anybody owes anything to each other, because they don't. But when I see somebody struggling or any type of issue they have, good or bad, if there's a problem, I try to come up with a solution. Not because I have to, it's because it comes from the heart. There's no alternative motive or anything like that. The people I care about, if they have a problem, I always come with a solution. Not that I have to do that, because nobody has to do anything for anybody, right? But because it comes out of the heart. See, loyalty and all that stuff is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. It's not just, when I need you, you better be there, and then when the other person needs you, you're nowhere to be seen. That's not how it works. Because you close your doors like that. That the other person who's loyal to you is gonna take notice. You could fool them once, not twice. And a lot of people don't have the sense that stuff like that closes your doors. Because anybody could say, I could do it myself. You might be able to do it yourself. But there comes a point in everybody's life that we need somebody to help us. And the more bridges you burn, the harder it's gonna be for you. I'm not saying you can't do it with somebody's help, or let's say my help or whatever, but it's gonna be 10 times hard. And also don't forget who's been there for you. If somebody's been there for you, they haven't asked anything in return, when they're in need, you should be there for them as well. Not because they owe you anything or you owe them anything. Not because of that, because it comes from the heart. That's loyalty. And if you don't do that, the other person's gonna notice. And the other person may have love for you still, but it ain't gonna be the same no more. The other person is not gonna go the extra mile for you anymore. The other person, whenever you ask for help, they're not gonna do it, because you burned them. Loyalty is a big issue, and I've talked about loyalty in this podcast for a long time. Like I said, we don't know, anybody doesn't know each other, nothing. But if the other person's been there for you, you should reciprocate that. Not because you have to, because you want to. Not because they owe you anything, it's because you want to. And if at the moment you couldn't help the person, follow up and be like, what, I couldn't be there for you that time. But do you still have that issue? This and that. Come up with a solution. Selfishness doesn't get you anywhere in this life. Being selfish, it might work for a while, but it's not gonna go. Because at the end of the day, in this life, it's a circle. You may mess somebody up right now, and tomorrow's gonna be you. But guess what? That person may have love for you, but ain't gonna be the same no more. That person is not gonna go the extra mile for you anymore. That is, especially that person would have done anything for that person. Anything. And you get burned like that? No. That's what I learned this weekend. There's a lot of people who, when I should throw big parties, they would get upset because I didn't invite them, and they'll message me the next day. Hey, why didn't you invite me? This and that. when my kid got sick. Did I get any of those messages? Hey, where's your kid at? What hospital they at? All those people are crickets. And so if this is a public service announcement, if the shoe fits here, wear it, man. Whoever it is. I'm a very loyal guy, man. But my people, I'll go through anything. But it's a two-way street. And it's not because we, like I said, we owe each other anything like that. It's because it has to come from my heart. Like the same way I do things for anybody. The same way I do things for anybody. Without them asking me. They tell me, hey, this happened. All right, man. This is what we could do. Not just stay quiet in the background. You know? Because whenever, like I said, whenever people have issues, they say, hey, this happened. All right, man, how can I help you? We could do this, we could do that, we could do this, we could do that. Because it comes from their heart. And this is a two-way street. Loyalty is a two-way street. Family is a two-way street. Friends is a two-way street. You know? I have a friends, right? Well, actually, I only have one. Whenever I go out with this person, shout out to Chava, man. He's my guy. Whenever I've gone with him, if I buy him a drink, he gives me a drink. I don't need to ask him. If I buy a bottle, he buys a bottle. I don't have to ask him. You know, and he's just my friend. He's not family or anything like that. But he has the same morals as me. That's why I don't mind partying with him or going out with him somewhere. Because whatever I spend, he spends. Not because he has to or he wants to. Or he's trying to catch up with me or anything like that. Because he wants to. I've never once told him, hey, spam me on this. That's how it should be. Two-way street. You know? We've done favors for each other. And he's never asked me anything. He doesn't go when we go out. He doesn't stay like, oh, you can't get me. No, he acts up, and that's a real friendship. And sometimes, you know, that's just an example. It's a two-way street. And you think if he calls me later on, you know, in the middle of the night, I am gonna answer that call because he's been there for me when I needed him. You know, shout out to other people, family and friends who reached out. You know who you are, you know. You know, like, you know, also, for me, like I said, I don't ask for much, right? Just be there when like the same way I've been, and not because you have to, because because I've been there for you. It's because you want to be there. It's a big difference. And shout out to Chai and Denny. You know they don't ask anything, bro, and they're always there for me. You know, my mom. You know, Michelle's mom's always been there. You know who you are. I don't need to shout you guys. You know, and I want you guys to know, on the record, and anything happens to you guys, I'm there for y'all, cause y'all there for me. Anybody who's been, you know, especially with my kids, man. You know, the same way you put importance in my kids is the same way I'm gonna treat you. You know, my son was in the hospital 4 days. When was those people saying? They said, you know, hey, what hospital he's at? There was nobody came except, you know, the ones that are always there for us. And like I said, you guys know who you are, and I'm really grateful. But people who I expected to be there weren't. And yeah, life happens to everybody. But if you really, you know, If you're connected with the person, you'll make time. Because if it was the opposite, you guys know I wouldn't do that to y'all. If this whole thing was in reverse, you guys know I wouldn't do that to y'all, and I would have acted the same way. I'm telling you, I would have come up with a solution. Hey, you got this, you need this, you got food there at the hospital, this and this and that, and not because I had to do it. It's because I wanted to do it. There's a big difference, and those people who, and I'm not even mad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Because people who I thought were going to be there for me weren't. But it's fine. Just know it ain't the same no more. I may still have love for you. But me going the extra mile for y'all, not anymore. And like I said, I ain't mad. I'm not. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that you guys are losing somebody who would have done anything for y'all. You know, now everybody has to figure out their own stuff. Like I figured out my own stuff this weekend. You guys are gonna have to figure out your own stuff. And like I said, I'm not the one who's gonna be hurting because I've done my part. I've done my share. I've been there when you guys needed me. Right or wrong, I've been there. You know, and as I say, loyalty. The same way you guys second guess my kids, not second guess, but second option my kids for other people. I'm a second y'all. And you guys could say I switched up and this and this and that. My kids are the most treacherous things I have in this world. The way you treat them is the way I'm gonna treat y'all. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm loyal. Good or bad, I ride with y'all. But if you don't reciprocate that, this ain't a two-way. This ain't a one-way street, man. I'm no fool. You may do once to me, not twice. You know, there's a lot of people that could have called me up and be like, you know what, hey, you know, I can't make it to the hospital, but you know what you need, this and that. I didn't get none of those calls, except for those people that you know who you are, and I will always shout you guys out. But I'm talking about those people I expected more from, and they disappointed me. But guess what? You know, like I said, I still have love for you, especially if you're family. But I'm not gonna go the extra mile for you guys anymore. You know, you guys show me your truth, how you guys feel about me and my kids. It's the same way now. And don't you guys dare say I switched up. Because the same way you second option my kids, the same way I'm gonna treat you guys, especially if you guys ate food together with my kids. You know, like I said, nobody owes anything to anybody. You should be there because you wanted to be there, because you truly cared. Because whenever you guys were in trouble, whenever you guys ever needed anything from me, I came up with solutions and think very hard about the things I've done. And any problem you guys ever had, I've always came up with a solution. And if I wasn't there, I told you guys I'm gonna get you this and that. And I kept my word. And if you guys think this is a diss or anything, take it how you guys want to take it. Because my kids come first. In the same way you treated my kids, it's the same way how you feel about me. It's the same way I'm gonna treat you. And like I said, I still have love for you. Because you guys are family. It doesn't mean I'm gonna close my doors to you. It doesn't mean I'm gonna stop talking to you guys. And if you guys stop talking to me over this, then that's on y'all. But think very hard of everything I've ever done for y'all. Out of my heart. not asking anything in return before. All these years. And and think about, if you were in my position, would I have done the same thing for y'all? And probably the answer is no. I would have been there in some shape or form. Think very hard what you guys are losing. And like I said, I ain't mad, I'm disappointed. And like I said, we don't know each other anything. But you should have been there because you wanted to. And if you reflect on this message, my phone line is always open. And I ain't talking smack or anything like that, because this is my face in the camera, and I'm putting my face out there. So whoever wasn't there for me, think very hard, because you guys closed on a big help from me. And this is not like that me saying I'm more big and all. Nah, because I'm loyal. That's what I'm referring to. I'm loyal. Good or bad, I was writing for y'all. But all this time I didn't know it was a one-way street. It's a two-way street. You know, if my kid's in the hospital and you know we're there all day, hey, do you guys have food? At least that. Hey, what hospital is he at? Can I see him? You guys were more upset because I didn't invite you guys to a big ass party I threw. The next day I was already getting calls and messages. Hey, why don't you invite me? Hey, this and this and that. And people, you know, people were so upset over that. But now that my kid, I didn't see nobody lined up saying, hey, where's your kid at so I can go see him? This and that. The same way energy you guys had telling me why they didn't invite you guys to my party. But guess what? I took notice. I took down names. And guess what? I may forgive, but I will never forget. Fool me once, not twice. I forgive all of y'all. And you don't need, actually, none of y'all need my forgiveness. But I'm telling you guys that, you know, I'm past it. I'm disappointed. And if you guys get upset and delete me, do what you guys gotta do. Well, there's a saying in Spanish, el mundo da muchas vueltas. The world goes around many times. You don't know where you're gonna be up tomorrow. And you don't know whose help you're gonna need tomorrow. But just know that my help is limited now. I'm not gonna go the extra mile for y'all. There's people who reached out for my kid who I never would have expected. Never in a million years would have expected. They were messaging me, hey, how is he? This is that. Multiple days he was in the hospital. Multiple days they reached out. And the people who I thought had me down and everything didn't. But it's all good. Because it showed me who I could rely on and who I can. And those people who were there for me, I'm going to be there for you. And you guys already know I got you. Because I do it two ways. You're there for me, I'm going to be there for you, because I knew you were there because you wanted to be there, not because you had to. And I'm being the same way. I don't know. It's nothing. You guys, the people, you know, that I'm really tight with never ask me anything. We're there for each other because we want to. That's loyalty. That's love. Not just because they need me at certain days and then this. No, because they actually want to be there for me. So I'm sorry to say, anybody else, I'm not going the extra mile for you. And I know I keep repeating this, but I want this to go through your mind. Unless I get a phone call and you explain to me the side of the story, it's not the same. Even if you do explain to me, I expected more. I'm disappointed. You know, And whoever's watching this, just take this and think about all those people who are there for you. Because I'll be getting a couple thousand views on YouTube. Think about all these people who are there for you, right? Who show up for you. And if you ever didn't reciprocate that when they needed you, go and apologize to them right now. Because those are the real people, and those people are a dime in a dozen. Those people are a dime in a dozen. Especially when they're there for you when you're your lowest. That's it. Because there's a lot of people who are there with you when you're your highest. There's no shortage of people when you're your highest. But when you really need people, when you're your lowest, there's nobody there. Right? But those people who do show up, who do make up for it, and they're there, reciprocate that, because it's a two-way street. And if you've done something like that, where people been there for you, and you didn't reciprocate that, and this video is making you think, man, you know what, I should have been there for that, then go call them, hit them up, send them a message. Hey, you know what, my bad, I was tweaking this and this and that. But if you take this message the wrong way, you can stop talking to me and everything like that. It doesn't hurt me. It may hurt you though, because you're losing a very valuable person who would have been that right or wrong with a right for y'all. But it's not like that, right? So, just a public service announcement. And I might forgive you guys. I will never forget that. So that's all I had to say about this podcast. And if this hit any nails, you know, I'm sorry. But I will speak my mind. I don't sugarcoat it. And I make this video too because I want everybody to get this message. And I'm right here facing you guys, telling you guys straight in the face. And take it. You may take it the wrong way. This ain't for you to take it the wrong way. But if you take that, then that's what it is. If you take it like, you know what, I messed up, my bad, this and that, then you could take it like that too. But I wrote for you guys. Right or wrong, I wrote for y'all. Every time you guys needed me, I wrote for y'all. And every time you had a problem, I came up with solutions. Not because I had to, because I wanted to, because I did it out of love. And this time when I had a problem, you guys were crickets. Which is all good, man. I ain't mad, I'm disappointed. And like I said, you guys are still family. I treasure family a lot. I ain't going the extra mile for you guys no more. You know, whoever you're with, whoever you chose that person over, they could go the extra mile for you now. But we're family only now. We ain't tied like that no more. Things have changed. Pull me once, not twice. And I'll see you guys in the next podcast. You know, like I said, if you guys get anything out of this podcast, this episode is treasure your family and loyalty. Be there with the people who's been there for you. It's a two-way street. And if you keep that two-way street, you'll make bonds that'll last a long time, a lifetime. And if you're messing up right now with those people, go and apologize to them and tell them, you know, I was tweaking out. My bad. Because an apology could go a long way too. But don't repeat the same mistake. Because those people get tired of getting treated from one side. When you guys take, you guys don't give. Not because you have to, it's because you want to. Remember that these words. When you fuck with a person, it's not because you have to fuck with that person. It's because you want to. And I repeat, when you ride for somebody, it's not because you have to ride for somebody. It's not because you have to be loyal to them. It's not because you owe them anything. It's because you want to. The same way they want to be there for you when you're in trouble or when you need them. It's a two-way street. Loyalty is a two-way street. When they're there for you in your lowest, you better be there for them in their lowest. Because that's a lot of people who always gonna be there in your highest. There's not gonna be a shortage of people. You win the lottery tomorrow, whole bunch of people are gonna be riding with you. You lose it the next day, see how many people are there with you. Loyalty is a two-way street. And if you're messing up right now, like I said, go apologize to that person. Because if they ever needed you and it was two-way street and they never asked nothing in return, you better apologize to that person. Otherwise, you're gonna be losing many people in this life. And then you're gonna be very lonely. And when you really get in trouble again, or anything of that sort, they're not gonna help you no more. Because people who are loyal are a diamond in the dozen, especially in this time, in this world. And like I said, I've always proven my loyalty to people. I've always proven my loyalty. Think about all this time and everything I've done for people. And can nobody say that I haven't been loyal? But sometimes I always got the short end of the stick. But I learn and I see, and I'm gonna forgive you guys. I will never forget that. And they're never gonna be the same again. But anyway, I'm just repeating the same thing I've said before. I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Thank you for the viewers, and I'm sorry I haven't been active. I just had this problem this week with my son and work, and I'll see you guys I'll be more constant. I'll see you guys probably Sunday, because I'm going to Wisconsin Dells this weekend for my kid's birthday. But yeah, something to think about. I'll catch you guys in the next one.